Hello and welcome to today's video on RNA. Today what we're going to be going ahead and discussing is much like we did with DNA, we'll be going ahead and discussing what RNA is as well as the various types and the structure of it. So let's go ahead and get started. I will see you on the next slide. So here's the plan. We've got a bit of a situation on our hands. Now DNA controls the cell, but it can't leave the nucleus. So how does it do it? Well, much like when you want to go ahead and get a hold of one of your friends, you send a message. Specifically in this case, it sends something called messenger RNA, or mRNA for short. Now remember, DNA contains the code for making proteins. However, the DNA can't leave the nucleus, so the RNA has to help out and actually make the proteins on the ribosomes. And what we're going to be discussing, not in this video, but the one after this, is how that whole process takes place. Today, we're just going to go ahead and talk about what RNA is. So, ribonucleic acid, also known as RNA, is the molecule that controls the production of proteins for cells. Now, RNA is a strand of repeating units or monomers called nucleotides, just like DNA. And if you think back and remember, a nucleotide is made up of three components. We have a phosphate, we have a sugar, in this case the sugar is ribose, and we have a nitrogen base. So, we have adenine, just like we did in DNA, but now we introduce something new. We introduce the letter U for uracil. We also have cytosine and guanine. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's talk some differences. So some of the differences between DNA and RNA are as follows. DNA is a double strand, whereas RNA is a single strand. DNA contains the sugar deoxyribose, whereas RNA contains the sugar ribose. So that's the sugar. DNA contains the nitrogen base thymine, or T, whereas RNA contains the base uracil. DNA stays inside the nucleus and RNA can be found outside. So here, sure enough, is an example of a strand of RNA. So we still have our sugar phosphate backbone, we have our nitrogen base, and we have our four different bases. We have adenine, uracil, guanine, and cytosine. Now uracil takes the same role that thymine did. So in this case, A will be combining with U, whereas G and C will just be swapping as normal. So to finish things up today, we're going to be going ahead and talking about the three different types of RNA. The first type is known as the messenger RNA, or mRNA for short. It's a single uncoiled strand, and it serves as a pattern for the assembly of amino acids. So the mRNA, what this actually is nothing more than a copy of the DNA. So remember, the DNA can't leave, but if you go ahead and make an mRNA copy of the information, that can go ahead and leave. After that, we have our tRNA, or the transfer RNA. This goes ahead and carries the correct amino acid to the ribosome to be created into a protein. And this is also single-stranded. Now the tRNA gets its name not only because it is the transfer type of RNA, but it also kind of looks like a T. And what this does is this goes ahead and brings the amino acids to go ahead and be made into a protein. And speaking of protein, we have our final type of RNA, which is the ribosomal RNA, or rRNA. This is a rather globular form and actually makes up the structure of the ribosome. So what a ribosome is actually something made up of protein. Now, the rRNA goes ahead and reads off the bases on the mRNA, so it reads the pattern, goes ahead and tells the tRNA to bring the correct amino acid, so the rRNA can then link them together, link these amino acids together, to go ahead and create a functioning protein. So with that, that's going to go ahead and close up shop on the different types of RNA as well as the structure. If you have any questions, please feel free to go ahead and contact your instructor. They will definitely point you in the right direction. As always, thank you very much for your time, and until the next video, you take care, and I'll see you then.